Okay. Well, what's this? I'm not in the basement anymore. I'm up in the lounge. Oh my God! What luxury! What a joy! Well, Eid Mubarak, everyone. Or is it Eid? Eid Mubarak. This is the 13th of May. It's my mother's birthday. Happy birthday, Mom. And we're doing a show from the lounge this time. I got to move my show up into the lounge. The wife said, that's okay. Yes, you can. And because I have many guests today, not one, not two, 3 guests. That's like the Holy Trinity coming into my show and like just lifting the roof of this beautiful place that I call home here in the dream. Now, on a serious note, I looked at the news and there is war, there is terror, there are problems. But it is time we move forward and build bridges, not walls. And we empathize and we care for each other. And that's what this show is all about, you know, that's the whole wake up thing. I got my man Markus with me, he's doing the technicalities. No, you're doing a great job, man. Own up to that. And yeah, like I said, 3 wonderful guests. It's Eid. And on top of that, it's the Ascension of Christ is being commemorated today. So it's quite a day, you know. And there's a thunderstorm outside, so I guess the God of Thunder is also there. And you know, that's my middle name after all. Holy moly mackerel. Roll the intro.
Live from the dream, aka Drummond, it's the Wake Up Show with your host, Wolf Thunder Flitty.
Oh, hello there, and welcome to the Wake Up Show. My God, this is very different. It's so spacious. Cardboard boxes everywhere. This is pretty great. Welcome to the show. And you know, as so happens, I am the host of this show. I am Wolf Thunder Flitty. What does it say? I'm the next Leatherman. That's not how you write it. I wrote it. I wrote the lower thirds, and then I'm asking Markus to, like, I can see you did something. You didn't do anything wrong, man. It's perfect. And if you think perfection looks like this show, and you want to help perfect on perfection, that makes no sense. Go to patreon.com/thewakeup show to support the show. Your support really makes a difference. You know, I'm getting a dry mouth, and you know what really soothes my mouth and my throat and everything is delicious cacao from Criollo. It's a place in the dream where you can get your cacao or your, I guess you can have your tea or your coffee too if you feel like it, and then they have organic, vegan, non-refined sugar, just all the good stuff that's really good for you here in the dream. And obviously here in my cup, which is full. It's overflowing, actually. That's how great this day is. And if you, for some strange reason, not living the dream, then you can go to ecochocolate.no and order your cacao products, you know? It's easy as pie. Speaking of which, this is like a crazy day, you know, because I'm having 3 guests on the show. I've never done that before. Actually, I have done 3 guests on the show before, but that was like Gatas Parlament. They were a group. Now I have 3 completely different individuals coming here to be on the show, to celebrate Eid, Jesus, humanity, and a nice cup of cacao. You know, that's really delicious, you know. Yeah, also you have to say the Wake Up Show is so special if you go to Criollo, you know, to get that extra special treatment. Now, I should probably now, welcome the first guest into the studio, and that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. You see, I was going to write like a list of sort of how the rundown of tonight's episode, but then technicality, life happened. But the show must go on. We're not stopping. We're an unstoppable force. And one of those unstoppable forces is my great, wonderful, beautiful friend, Shakila. Would you like to come into the studio, please? Have a seat.
Thank you.
Welcome. You look so lovely.
Thank you. So do you.
Thank you. Eid Mubarak to you.
Eid Mubarak.
And Jesus Day.
Yes.
Is there a special salute, I don't really... Like this Acension
it's just love.
Love.
So, and Jesus is part of love, so it's, yeah. And so is Eid. So it's just love.
It's a lovely day.
It's a lovely day.
It's a lovely day.
Exactly, yeah.
It's so great to have you on the show.
Great to be here.
Come to think of it, we don't know each other that well. But at the same time, it feels like we've known each other for many lifetimes.
It does.
That's deep, man.
It's very deep.
That's pretty deep.
Yeah.
Who are you, Shakila? Where do you come from? What's going on over here?
I guess I'm just a being.
Yes?
Not just, because I'm a being. Yeah. It's a great thing. Yeah. So I'm a being in this world.
You are? And circumstance has brought us together.
Yeah, it did.
Is there such a thing as a random circumstance? I certainly don't feel like it today, I have to admit.
No, today has been, the energy here is amazing.
Everything's just falling perfectly into place.
Yes, it does. I'm a bit nervous.
Are you nervous?
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing to be nervous about. It's just me and you talking.
Yeah, true.
Yes. You have a lower third, which says that you are Shakila Ahmed. You're an artist, a YouTuber.
Yes.
And the We Are One.
Yes.
What's a We Are One?
That is what I stand for. That is I feel like that's such a huge part of me.
Could you say that's your mantra? Is that a word?
No, it's not a mantra, because mantra is something you say.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just there. It just
is.
I am We Are One. So are you. Like, we are one.
It's very inclusive.
Yes.
Leaves no one behind.
One human race.
Yes. How about aliens?
I mean, it's about love. So I guess aliens are fine as well.
Yes.
We include everyone.
That's great. That's very great.
And that's the beauty of that we're celebrating, Eid today with the rest of the guests and you, and yeah.
Yes, we are creating a small Eid celebration here tonight.
Yes.
And speaking of our other guests, do you think there's this wonderful guy? First time I met this guy, he was working at this school where my children and my wife, they're going to this wonderful Montessori school here in the dream. A dream within a dream within a dream. And there was this great guy at this school. There was this great guy. Turns out he's the father of one of the friends of my daughter Kaya. And when I had this feeling that I wanted to experience Ramadan, I thought this is the perfect excuse for me to get to know this great guy. This great guy has a name, and it's Firat. Firat, would you like to come in and have a seat in the couch over here? Welcome, man. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you, Ulf.
So great to have you here, and thank you so much for the 30 days of Ramadan, whom we spent 4 days together with different families here in the Greater Dream area.
Mm-hmm. That's right. It's my pleasure also to help to arrange this one also.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Eid Mubarak to you.
Thanks. Eid Mubarak. So happy Ramadan. Or
Yeah.
happy Eid, we can also say.
Now,
Eid Mubarak.
What? Thank you.
You are, of course, Firat, your last name. How do you say your last name?
My last name is Bahçıvan,
Bahçıvan.
which means gardener, actually.
Aha. Well, you've tended to this beautiful dream garden quite well because you are a fellow dreamer.
Yes, I am.
You know, we came here to the dream at approximately the same time, I think, right?
It was 2010.
Yeah. And you know, people typically say that's when the dream really started cooking up some cool stuff. That's when me and Firat came around. Or maybe it was just coincidence, who knows?
Yes.
Now, obviously the reason I asked you was because I knew that you were a Muslim who practiced Ramadan and were well ventured into the realm of Islam. So again, thank you so much for opening up the door to that world.
Thank you, Ulf, also because you give room to experience it with us, actually. So it was great for me to experience it with you.
Yes, it was pretty great. And the cool, like, obviously, you know, it's nice that the two of you are here because it was such a beautiful coincidence, which was also somewhat like strange and fun at the same time. Was like Shakila asked me if she could be a guest on the show, which I had wanted to ask her for a long time because I like that's the perfect way to get to know someone is to talk with them on your own talk show. That's why I have the show after all. But then she asked me, and she was like, "And this date would be perfect."
And I never do that. So it was amazing to just, okay, you know what? I'm just going to call Ulf and ask him if I can come. And then,
but the date was today. And then when I had the feeling that I'm going to do Ramadan, also became quite clear that the show at this particular day that is today should be somewhat related to Eid. And in the back of my mind was like, Shakila there's some Muslim background or there's something Muslim, but I couldn't quite remember. And then I was like, but we'll find out at the show. I apologize for not asking you sooner, but what is your relationship with this it's a religion. We can call it a religion.
Yeah. What my relationship is to the religion?
Or to in general, or to Islam?
Okay, so I feel like I have to tell a short story.
Short stories are great. This is the perfect place for short stories.
So yes, I was born into a Muslim family. So my name is Shakila Ahmed. It's an Arabic name. And so when I grew up, I said that I was a Muslim. But then I used to drink, but I was continuing saying that, oh no, but I'm a Muslim. So this is it was very interesting to me because I was just saying that I'm a Muslim, but I actually didn't feel it. But
yes,
then
you were just sort of like that. I have this label, so I guess that's what I am.
Yes.
But you didn't really feel like it.
Because also when you are born into a Muslim family, but it's just there. It's it becomes it's a culture, but also, as I said, a religion. So so what happened in 2017 was that's when I took you can say a stand because I started to ask myself questions because I was a bit lost.
I've never been lost. Always, have a GPS on my phone so I can never get lost. Yes, people get lost. You got lost.
But that time in November, I remember 2017, I was very, very lost. But it was so important because I started to ask myself very important questions like, who am I?
Those are good questions.
I know.
Those are key questions, yes.
But also it was very confusing. And then I was thinking that, okay, what am I doing here? Because I'm not happy at the moment. I have to do something with it. And then I started to search for my truth. And that's when I had to be honest about my relationship with Islam. And it was very painful for me because I didn't have any hate or anything towards Islam. It wasn't that. It was just, I just had to find my own truth, because I understood that I was born into a Muslim family, but now I can choose. I'm an adult, so I can choose what's right for me. So I remember I cried because it was such a because it wasn't something that I have. As I said, it wasn't anything against Islam, but since I have had a type of attachment to it, it felt that I did something wrong.
Yeah. That makes sense, right? When you're sort of like this is like I have to say, my favorite guy in the world. I have a lot of favorite guys and girls, for that matter. Joseph Campbell has this mythology of the hero. Now, the hero's journey starts with this very cool thing. It's called leaving the village. But here's the thing with leaving the village. It's hard because, you're in the village, it's safe, there's food, there's shelter, there's everything. But it's a known factor in your life. And going out into the unknown, which is where adventure awaits, is also where treasure is found, and insight and gifts and growth.
Yeah.
And I think from what you're saying, it makes complete sense. You're in this structure, and then it doesn't feel like you. So you need to go outside of the structure to be able to actually figure out what's going on.
I physically left Norway 2 months later because I was like, I have to find out my truth. And that's when I went to India, Bangladesh, Cambodia, and Turkey as well. So, and that was a journey of finding peace with Islam. So in 2017, when I went through that, and I felt like, okay, I don't have to tell my parents this because it's a very personal experience. Because a lot of the time, I don't know, I just felt like that I should maybe call my parents, but because I was sad, and I think it's something to do with the inner child. I don't know if you have heard about the term.
I've heard about the term the inner child, yes.
Yeah. So it's linked to that, I guess, the inner child. So then I went on this journey, hero's journey, basically. So
That's it,
yes. And then I just, 2 months later, as I said, I went on a journey, and 3 years later, I understood that this journey was about finding peace with Islam. So I feel more connected to Islam now than I did when I said that I was Muslim.
Through discovering it on your own terms, I guess that is a part of growing up, right?
Yes, exactly. And also I discovered Sufism, which is you can say the spiritual part of Islam or mysticism. So then I found an interest in that, and I started to read more about it. And then, because I didn't know that this part existed.
Yeah. It was sort of like not available to you.
Yeah, it wasn't available. Yeah, and maybe,
yes.
But that could be that someone talked about it, but I wasn't ready.
No, that's the important point.
Sufism, yeah. But yeah, 3 years ago, that's when I was introduced to Sufism, and that was actually in Istanbul. When I saw,
I've never been to Turkey. And you both have, and you even grew up there.
Yes, that's right. Yes. I came to Norway in 2008, actually. So while I was listening to Shakila, I would just say that I understand you totally, that it can be very, very difficult, because when I think myself, for example, I just feel that I was born into the ocean. So the attachment, the relation was already there. So for me, I was said that I was Muslim, and afterwards I just followed it with my family, with my other people who I have relation to also. So it's actually difficult to you, Shakila. I understand it.
I appreciate it.
You know, speaking for myself, I felt like I was a drop born in a desert, all alone, poor little me. And you know, I come from the atheist world, even though parts of my family was Christian, and Norway, as you probably have noticed, is a fairly Christian country, at least culturally. But I never felt like the whole God thing, and like I just sort of refused to acknowledge it to be a reality. Fast forward to now, where through the last 30 days, I most certainly felt the gentle hand of God guiding and helping me. And for instance, like today, I've completely surrendered to the fact that having the joy of you guys, and very soon Umut will also come and sit in that beautiful chair. I'm just saving him because I'm so excited that he's here. And it's like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
In a million years, literally, I had never thought we would be able to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Me neither.
It's so great, right?
Yes.
In my lounge, in the dream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, now I've spoken about Umut, so it makes... Am I saying your name right or wrong?
With U.
Umut.
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 Yes.
Oh, the U, because you know I'm Ulf, and
Yeah, it's Norwegian, you know.
You can come into this and have a seat over here. We'll applaud you in.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's a pleasure for me to be here.
Yeah. Eid Mubarak.
Eid Mubarak. Happy Ramadan for everyone.
Yes. Yes. This is the first time we ever met.
Mm-hmm. Actually, that's
It's about
correct.
time.
Yeah, it's a very good time, you know, the Muslim, you know, celebration. Every Muslims throughout the world is celebrating the Ramadan now. So it's a quite, you know, very good, interesting day. So it's very good to be here.
Yes. Now, Umut,
Yep.
you are also from Turkey.
Yeah, my parents are originally from Turkey, but I was born here.
You were born here.
Yeah, I was born in Drammen here. So.
You were born. That's true. You were born in the dream.
So-
you are the original dreamer.
Yeah.
But on your title card, it says something along the lines of, I have to sneak peek, it says that you are the interfaith dialogue advocate.
Yep, that's right. So,
That sounds great.
yeah, you know, it's very related to my background. So I have a theology bachelor and master's.
Ah.
So
So you know a thing or two about religion? Or three?
I don't want to say true or wrong. So it depends on your, you know.
But you're also humble. I like that. That's good. That's
So
good.
it's not true or false. It's about your, you know, standpoints. How do you see the things, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So let me try to give an example.
I like examples.
Yeah, you know.
Yes.
So examples are always great to have in our minds to get close to subjects, you know, to things, to ideas. So if a person do a wrong thing, but is that a wrong thing for the person, from the person's standpoint, or from my standpoint? Maybe it's a good thing for the person that's doing the wrong thing from my standpoint, but it's a good thing from the guy or the person is doing, you know. So so I believe that everything is not black and white. You can just you know, judge people on doing something. So maybe we have to, you know, ask and try to understand each other. And as you also mentioned in your, you know, introduction, we have to try to build bridges,
Not walls.
not walls.
Yes, because you know the bricks, they can be built into many things, but something connects us,
Yep.
and the other thing separates us
Because we are one.
because we are one.
Unity.
That's right.
Unity.
Unity.
So through building bridges, and you give opportunity to the people so that they can come together, speak, and know each other in a better way.
Yes, in a sense, that's, you know, humanity has been sort of building bridges, you know, globally speaking, rediscovering, discovering each other, but again, at times it seems we have lost track about like this idea that we are one and the same thing, and it's like, no, you came from this place, so you must be something completely different than I. It's fascinating. And here we are building the bridge. That's pretty nice. There is, you know, this is the 13th of May, which in Christianity is the day marking Jesus' ascension into heaven. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't quite sure, you know, what the whole ascension thing was. And what I like to do when I wonder about something, I go out and ask the dreamers. But it turns out that my mother and her husband was visiting.
Okay.
So I was unable to go out and ask the dreamers. So I asked my mother instead. So let's hear what my mother and her husband has to say about the ascension. What does this ascension of Jesus, what does that mean?
It means that it's her birthday. That's what I connect with this.
That's true, it's her birthday.
Yes. Jesus went to heaven.
Climb the staircases upstairs.
I think so.
Yeah. That's
And then we celebrate that.
Okay.
And my birthday.
And it's your birthday this
Yes,
year?
yes.
That's
This year.
great.
Yeah. Not every year. But, no.
But why is that so special?
For someone, it's very special, but for us, it's not so special. It's a Friday.
It's a Friday.
Yeah.
So it's a Thursday.
Yes,
Oh.
but you don't have to go to work.
Day off.
Yeah, day off.
It's a day off.
A Friday.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so as it turns out, my mother likes the Ascension because it's a Friday, but she meant a day off. But I like, it's a Thursday, but it's a Friday. This Jesus character, which I reckon has a place in all our hearts in this room that we are sitting in right now, because I know that he is one of the prophets in Islam.
That's
but
right.
also I know personally that he is a influential character in my life, even though we have only met in dreams. But then again, we are in the dream, so that's sort of I guess makes sense. But I guess Umut, you're the theologist. What's this ascension thing all about?
The ascension of Jesus. So it's quite interesting, you know. So if we look at the Muslim tradition, so he is among the resolute ones. So he is one of the greatest prophets in the Islam.
The top 5.
Top 5. Noah, Abraham, Moses, Jesus, and in the Islamic tradition, Prophet Muhammad is the seal of the prophets, so the last one.
This is the last one.
Last one in the Islamic tradition.
Yeah.
Islamic tradition. So basically talking about Jesus, you know, it's just so extraordinary. It's beyond, you know, human minds, human coping skills. So when we are talking about Jesus, you know, it's just so interesting. So about the ascension. So like I said in the start, in the beginning, religion is not saying something about, you know, black and white, wrong and right. So we also have in the Muslim tradition that he was ascended. But in which way? We don't really know that.
No, because it's a long time ago, this ascension. Now, ascending means sort of moving to a higher plane, right?
Yeah.
Descending, going downwards, ascending, going upwards.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
but the other prophets, did they ascend? Hopefully none of them descended. That would be
so.
Make them very.
Also, in the Islamic tradition, we believe that the last prophet, Prophet Muhammad, so he also ascended to the 7 heavens. In which we also call in the Islamic tradition Isra, or the Miraj, the ascending to the heavens.
Okay, yeah.
Which some believes took place in fully human bodies, which some believe that his soul was getting up to the 7 heavens. So he also received the 5 obligatory prayers from God, directed from God in the 7 heavens. Then he came back to this world.
So the main difference is he has been ascended while he is living, and came back also after.
So he left, came back again.
Yes.
No crucifixion.
No, not in the Islamic tradition, but as I said, some believe that it's happened with the fully bodily, human bodily, but some believe that it was just his soul that,
Yes. An out-of-body experience. We believe, yes. Interesting. Shakila, what's the ascension thing to you? Do you have anything to weigh in on the J-man? I'm just asking Markus to pan the camera a bit because I'm sorry to be micromanaging you, doing 1,000 jobs at once and then interrupting my guests who I asked a question and then
I had the time to think. I had the time to
I
think.
gave you a little space there. Yeah, don't worry about it. It's
for me, ascension is, I think that I'll say in a human level, because that's what I can talk about. So I feel that there is ascension is more, it's a higher connection than the world that we live in.
physical plane.
Physical
Could
place,
we
yeah.
maybe call it that?
Yeah,
It
let's call
seems
it
very physical, right?
it's very physical.
solid, seemingly.
So as a being, or human being, I definitely think that I have experienced ascension, you can say, in a way, because of the spirituality. So that's how I connect. I mean, ascending when it comes to Jesus, that's something else. But you asked me, and this is And so I feel like just being here, I ascended in a way. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's like, falling in love. It's also a form of ascension, right? It's something that lifts you up.
This is what Sufism is about. It's ascension. It's the love towards Allah. So it goes beyond worshipping. It's So it's a personal relationship that you have to Allah. So you go more inwards and find the ultimate love and try to be connected to that. Yeah. So that's the song, the Sufi song that I will perform.
Yes, you are to perform this Sufi song.
Yeah, so it's devotion towards Allah, or the divine.
Yes, this person, that's like a horrible way to start talking about God. That would be missing the point entirely, which I guess I did as a kid, because I felt this personified, this God guy, you know, man in the sky type deal.
And normally it's a he.
Yes, indeed,
Not
some strange
not
reason.
even a she.
Even though I've seen creation, you know, 4 times with my children, and that's a very female process indeed. But yeah, this man in the sky, and then sort of maybe realizing that the moment I let go of this idea of a physical being that looked and walked and talked like Morgan
us.
Freeman, or that was what was holding me back from actually realizing that there is something called the divine, the thing that binds us together. You know, I love Star Wars, so when he talks about the Force, I'm like, that's a nice word for it, especially from a scientific level where we are just energy, right? Because we look very solid, but there's a lot of gaps in between here. It's empty space. Yeah. Well, there are 5 prophets, and one seals the deal, but that's like a long time ago. What if someone comes along with like a new amazing prophecy? Will there be a new book then? Like, you know, in Christianity, they have like the Old Testament and the new one.
So, like I said, you know, in the Muslim tradition,
Yes.
so it is believed that the holy text, which is called Quran,
Yes.
in the Muslim tradition, the holy text. In the Christianity, we have the New Testament or the Gospels, or in the Christian tradition, we have the Hebrew Bible. And according to, you know, Muslims, the Quran is the ultimate word of God.
Yeah.
So there is no change in it. So it is God's order to human beings that they can try to follow the guidelines to prevent, you know, the evil things and do the good deeds to try to make up to, you know, to get the ultimate goal is to, you know, to get to the heavens. So in order to, you know, standpoints from a Muslim standpoint, so it is the ultimate word of God, and God is ordering that He is the seal of the prophets. Then it is believed that, you know, He is the prophet of the last prophet, but you also have to have faith in the other prophets that is been through all the history. So you just not neglect or reject all the other prophets. You also accept them, and you also say that, okay, in my personal opinion, or in my point of view, or in my belief system, I believe that He is the last one. But I also accept all the others that have come through the history. So if someone is coming after him or not, in a Muslim tradition or in a Muslim standpoint, so that is a very little chance for it. But we never know what God is gonna say.
So
Can I just?
Yeah, of course.
But this view is from a Sunni Muslim view, that there's no Muhammad is the last prophet. But then you have Shia, and then you have Ahmadi, and then
Yeah, of course, the Muslim has the Christianity has split into
yes, but
branches. Yeah,
I don't know if it's Ahmadi or Shia Muslims that believe that there is gonna come a prophet after.
it's Ahmed, yeah.
Ahmadi, yeah. So that's
Savior,
also.
you know, that is gonna, you know, come later on and save the, you know, the earth, the planet.
Yeah.
so that's similar to Christianity.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Where you have sort of like these messiahs.
Yeah, it's gonna get down to the earth and gonna, you know, save us all.
It's Islam, so that's why it's important to bring that up as well,
of
and
course.
not just the Sunni
This is complicated stuff. Wait,
It's actually not.
no, right?
It's just-
but at the
it's
same time,
different.
over the millennia, it's become very like fragment. Like it's people have different sort of perspectives, and then things sort of split up and then sort of merge back together. And I guess
I feel like you can look at it as like it's Islam, and then you have, let's say, a country, and then you have people from different cities, but they all are in the same country.
yeah,
So Sunni, Muslim, Shia, Ahmadi, Muslims, but then it's different cities. But Islam is a country. Yeah.
Or they are using different type of vehicles maybe.
Yes.
So you're using your bicycle, he's using his car, and I'm using my plane, if I had one.
So it's not that complicated.
no,
It's
that's
very easy.
But generally speaking, it's believed that the seal of the prophethood belongs to Muhammad.
Yes, and obviously, when we started talking about Ramadan, I said I wanted to read the Quran, and I failed miserably. I started, and I really liked sort of where it was going, and then I got lost, and then I realized that's okay. And I also have to admit that I like Ramadan so much that I would like to do it again. So I believe in second chances, so I can read the Quran that time. But I didn't get to the end. But I guess what you're sort of getting at is that the book in itself is timeless.
Yes.
It needs no update because it's sort of written out. It's channeled from outside of time. Because, like you said, he ascended. And I reckon he didn't just go to the moon and sort of dig it up on the far side. Because that's looking at it in a very, the way I would look at things before, where it was very physical. That's very interesting.
I think people have different point of view. Because I took a course in Islam at the university, and then I'm taking some courses from an anthropology perspective of Islam. And so I read a book about reformation of Islam and the Quran, and that was very interesting because you have also people that, based on what I read, you have people who, no, because I have to be a bit, try not to offend or, yeah. So you have people who think that there should be a reformation of this because it's not updated according to the society we live in. Even though the Quran is not looked at it, but you have different point of view. Like people have different points of view, and and they're allowed to have that. But for me, it was very interesting because I didn't even know that I could ever find a book where it's about Islam and then Reformation. So, yeah, I learned a lot. And that's what I loved about university, at Oslo University, is that it made me think more critical because we always had several books. So you couldn't just... So it's not just, okay, you have from this perspective, but you had different books. So Reformation, and then you had parts of... So I read parts of Quran, but not the whole. So you have that, and then you have from other perspectives. And also from different countries. Because in the different countries, you also have... It's also a mix of culture. So Islam and culture. So yeah, you can have a different Muslim Islamic culture in the Middle East, and then you have different in Bangladesh.
Yeah, or in Norway.
Or in Norway, yeah.
Which is, I think, where I feel that we all, as a group in this room, come in is that even though, like you said, the Quran is sort of like the timeless thing, is we as humans are evolving, and through this thing we are doing right now, this bridge building concept, that's how we sort of evolve into one community, one big, like the interfaith thing. I like this thing, the feeling of sort of merging things together, because at the end of the day, it seems very appropriate to say that none of us humans have like the literal answer to all the questions, because if we did, we wouldn't be here, right?
That's right. That's very good. You know,
that's sort of like at the core, and so we're here. And what really resonated with me when I got really lost at sea, mental picture, not literally, was like, but I am here. So that must mean that there is a reason for that.
Yeah.
And I found sort of great comfort in the fact that that's something I always wanted. That was sort of like what I came sort of, where I landed and sort of felt like that Earth is my home. It's like I always wanted to be here. I always wanted to be Ulf. And the moment I sort of did that, then the big sort of dark pit inside of me was like, but why are you really here? And I was this drop in the desert. I was just a poor little guy on this small planet around a small sun in the vast universe. And I think like a lot of the hero's journey is like literally realizing that you are the hero of your journey.
Yeah.
If you get what I'm saying, like it's not someone else who is the hero, it's you. And then I like the religious aspect of it, is where like, can you then sort of trust that you are part of something, and that something is good, and it's for the betterment. Like this is a place of love, and this is not a place of hate and torture and the horrors of what we are doing here on Earth, and that there is something outside, that's something bigger than this. I like that. We're going to hear you sing a song, but before we do, I wanted to show a clip from last night when I broke the fast, because I had a very special guest. We can just run the clip, man, right? Okay, camera rolling. This is day 30 of Ramadan, and I am preparing a meal to celebrate Iftar with my beautiful assistant Markus and my family. What a delight, what a treat. I'm gonna make my lasagna up in here. It's a vegetarian one. The last day of Ramadan. And I have made lasagna, and it looks divine. Okay. Welcome in to the wonderful Ramadan evening.
Thank you.
This is sort of like the Markus experience, because I am now sharing the ULF experience with Markus. It is, we can break the fasts.
The last fast.
Kaya? Now we can sit down at the table and we shall break the fast together. Bro, it is time to break the fast. Come and join us at the table. So, what I have learned on my Ramadan experiences is that it's the tradition to break the fast with a date.
If likes the date.
And it's also customary that the guests will have the first date. The time is right.
Yes. Yeah. And the date is there.
Yeah. And the date is there.
Yeah.
So I'm start with the date.
Yeah.
Okay.
This will officially be my first date in my whole life.
This is your first date ever?
Yeah, I've never tasted them before. They're different than I expected, because I expected like a big raisin, There's like
yeah.
there's a slight hint of like the raisin taste, but it's still, you know, I understand why people call it like it tastes like almonds.
It's like a small piece of cake. Just looks like dried fruit. Camouflage. Thank you so much for breaking the fast with me. Breaking the fast.
This is good.
You know, it's in English, it's called breakfasts. Breakfasts.
I know.
You know this?
Yes, you told it.
You know everything.
Yes. You.
Because I told you.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Turns out I told him. I gave you some dates. Shakila, you have to wait for your date because you're going to sing for us.
Yes.
But
Let's go for it.
let's go for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll have water instead.
You guys want some cacao? You don't have some Creole cacao?
We can try it.
It's a wonderful little place in the dream where you can get your cacao or your coffee or your tea. I'm gonna pass one cup down to Firat.
Thank you.
Firat, and I have a second one here. Ah, there you go, man.
Thank you, Ulf.
Don't worry about it. Ah,
It's delicious, I think.
yeah. But so when I last night I hosted my own iftar, and I thought it was such a nice, like, the tradition of inviting people into your home and sort of like making the meal important. Like, not just like, oh no, sit down everyone and just eat, but it's like, no, this is when we eat. This is like
Sharing the moment, sharing the good things together,
And it's so easy to forget, right? That you're just sort of like, food becomes, obviously we are living in a part of the world where food is in abundance. So it's easy to forget that it not always is, but also at the same time, it's one of the greatest things about being a human is that we can experience these flavors and these tastes, that we can share them with each other, and it just when I realized I could share it with my man Markus, that was pretty awesome. Because we've been working together for a while, but we hadn't sat down and had like a meal as humans, and that's important.
But it has to be, it's also a cultural thing, I think, because in South Asia, I can talk for South Asia, Indian food or Bangladeshi food, Pakistani food, it's a huge topic. Like, I remember that when I called my parents, they were like, have you eaten?
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you had that.
Yeah.
Or, oh, you have lost weight, you have to eat more.
That's common, in the
and I think it's because of the food culture. It's different than.
You mean here in Norway or Norway, as we?
But the good thing about Norway is that we are so open to. I'm confused. We are open for new like cultural dishes. So you have sushi, you have tacos, you have Indian food. So that's a beauty in Norway as well. Like, yeah, okay, maybe the food culture isn't like. It could be rich or but the openness for different cultures and the food culture is I think it's really beautiful.
Well, food is a shortcut into the cultural experience, right? Or you were maybe...
But it's a social thing as well.
Of course, but I would just say the feeling of being happy, I think it comes from making somebody happy by inviting them to share your food.
Yes.
I think it stands from that part, because you're making somebody happy, then you are also happy by sharing, by inviting.
That's
unconditional love.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
That's
that is
right.
right.
So you're not obliged to invite, but you do. You're
Yeah.
not obliged to give, but you do.
Yeah. It's like the thing you said, Umut, about, from one perspective and from the other. Like if I took your cacao now,
Yeah.
it would be beneficial for me, but not for you.
Yeah.
Whereas if I gave you cacao, which I just did,
Yep.
it was beneficial for both of us.
So gain. So win-win, as we say,
Yes.
So I would just say, after you explained about the Quran is, for example, Ulf, as you mentioned, timeless, but the interpretation of it can vary from people to people.
The times when it was sort of read and you have
Yes.
this, this is what they're talking about. Yeah.
Again, as an example, if you, for example, put a very big, heavy stone here, and what I'm going to think about it, and what Shakila is going to think about it, she can think that, Ulf had put it that one because I must just take it back because it can be a barrier to somebody, for example, to someone, a horse, which is galloping, which is running very fast. So I must just take it. She can think in that way. Whereas I can think, Ulf did a very good job, because if a passerby needs to rest, where he or she is going to have his horse being tied.
Yes.
So different interpretation.
There is this story. I love this story. There are like 7 blind guys. They're coming into the village, and then they meet an elephant. And then they start arguing about what an elephant looks like. Because one is holding the trunk of the elephant. It's like the elephant is sort of like a snake. And then it's the other one is holding like one of the feet. It's, no, it's like a barrel or something like that. And then one is holding the flappy ears. It's more like a big flappy thing. And all of them are describing
The elephant.
the elephant.
Yes.
But they're just describing a part of the elephant. And also like the drawback to being a human is that you can't, at least not like in a very over longer periods of time at least, get like a bigger picture of things, because you're sort of stuck in physical form. And so we're seeing it from our perspective, and then it's like the subtle art of realizing that, well, in this room alone there are 5 perspectives. One of them is probably a bit like furious about delays in audio. The other guy just had a nice cup of cacao. One is sort of like a bit nervous because she's going to sing a beautiful song. Who knows? I'm just...
We are the lucky one.
Yes.
And it's this I at least need like a constant reminder that I don't know other people's stories. So whatever their reactions are, the better I pay attention, the more present I am with them, the more I can understand who they are, and they will help me understand the elephant. Because there's the elephant in the room, I would say, is Allah, because that's sort of like what brought us together. And I can talk about my perspective of the thing, you can, and all of us as a group are together creating. And also what I feel like and what I really like about these things is that we breathe it into life as well, because the moment we sort of give it the space and we acknowledge that it's there, the divine, then it sort of actually sort of lifts us a bit. And I feel, you know, that ascension that Jesus kept bragging about, it's sort of, I can see that we can actually help each other ascend by being there for each other and being present and having talk shows about being there for each other and being present. Is this the time where you are going to sing a song?
Soon, but I feel like I have
Yes,
to
you
talk
have to obviously.
a bit about the song and
Yes.
a bit about Sufism and the musical side.
This song is somewhat related to Sufism, then I reckon.
It's a Sufi song.
A Sufi song.
Yes, so I will Okay, so Sufi music, this is my interpretation of
course.
of what I read, and what I know, and what I believe. So, so Sufi music is it's a devotion and an inner connection towards the divine. So through the music, the lyrics, the words, you can also use different prophets' name, and so there could be Muslim words or Islamic words in the song. So it depends on where in the world as well. So because the song that I'm gonna perform, it's from India. Well, it's an Indian musician, and this is the beauty, people or beings. The beauty is the musician and the artist that is singing this song or made this song. His name is Kailash Kher. I hope I pronounced it right. He's a Hindu, but he sings Sufi songs.
Wow. That's very
And another beauty thing, a beautiful thing, is that I have a vocal teacher. After my YouTube, I posted a YouTube video.
So you're a YouTuber now?
Yeah, I'm a YouTuber, yeah. So I posted a YouTube video, my first YouTube video, I sang a song, and so I rediscovered my passion for song after 17 years or so. And after that, I realized that I want to become better technically. So and because of the pandemic, I thought I can actually see if there's any vocal teachers online, and then I find a website, and then I found my teacher. And my vocal teacher, she lives in Kolkata, which is in India. So she is a Hindu, but she is born in a Hindu family, and she teaches me the Sufi song. So this is it's just so beautiful that, you know.
It's a bridge in itself.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It's a dialogue.
Yeah, you can say that. Yeah. So the Sufism, the millions of people who are Sufi, and you have it in, I think, West Africa, you have it in Indonesia, or South Asia, in Turkey, so all the Middle East, all these areas. I'm very interested in Sufism. But so this is just the beginning of my journey of. So it's the first time I'm singing a Sufi song, and that's why I'm a bit nervous, because I've only sung songs in English or Bengali or Hindi, but never a Bollywood song, but never a Sufi song. So I have to thank my teacher, Amrita Roy. I hope she's probably gonna watch tomorrow because it's late in India.
Yeah, it's a bit late, or a bit early. I guess it could be a really or early morning show.
Yeah. Maybe she's watching. I don't know, but yeah, I have to give her thanks for just, you know, making me comfortable and confident. Yeah.
You wanted to stand up while singing?
Yeah. And so the song is about. I can say that before I start to sing. The song is about someone who has, you can see it as a bird or a person, because it's metaphors, that has broken its wings, and then it's like then it sings about, okay, so it's broken its wings, and it has been broken so badly that it cannot fly. And then but the bird or the God's child, or whatever, what you can interpret, is saying is that, okay, I have broken my wings and all these things happen to me, but I have faith in Allah. So Allah ki bande haste, which means that I will laugh and smile because I know that Allah is with me, or the divine is with me, universe is with me. And then he sings that when I first broke the wings, that's when I learned to fly. And
That's
after,
good.
yeah, and then when I it's a bit deep. So I started to bring the pain with you because it's broken wings. So bring the pain with you because you might have the use for the pain in the future. Yeah.
So if I would summarize,
Yeah.
so no pain, no gain.
Yeah.
It's a very American approach. I like that. I also like to summarize it as what I like to call the backpack.
Backpack.
Which is, you have the backpack with you through life and you put things in it. Good experiences, bad experiences. Thing is...
And also never give up. Also never give up.
Yeah, of course never give up. But you have these experiences and they will come in handy further down the line. At some point you think like all these bad things that happened to me that's weighing me down. But you can't get rid of this backpack because it's part of you. So the thing is, the moment you sort of realize that, oh, all these things, my broken wings, are actually what will help me fly. I just don't know when and how. And I guess that's where faith comes in.
Yeah. And this is your interpretation, and then he has his own, and then he has, and I have my own. Like
that's the beauty of the thing. That's the beauty of the thing. There's 8 billion different interpretations.
You know, we just respect each other of what we think about. Yeah. We all have a view, but we respect each other. We don't, blame. You are wrong and you are right. No, there is not such a thing. You're just gonna respect each other. I have a standpoint, but I respect your standpoint, your views, because this is your interpretation of what you have been through, or what you have been, experiencing, or what you have been believing about.
Yeah,
so
based on your life story and experience.
Yes.
Yeah. Are you ready to sing a song?
I am. I have to stand.
Yes.
Should we give her a good applause?
We'll give you applause. You have to put this microphone on your life.
Okay.
Yeah. We can
Or I
give
could just
her a
like,
good applause.
I'm just kidding. Yeah.
So, put the microphone somewhere.
Okay, probably place it
Yeah.
here.
And I guess you are the perfect height for that big picture.
Yeah.
But don't go too far away because
No,
then your
I
head
have
gets
to-
chopped
I
off.
have
We don't
to-
have like Markus is already doing a gazillion things.
I will try to not block you. Is this fine?
This is perfect.
Can I?
No, they have to go down on your knees. That's not gonna. Just
Okay.
that's where you're gonna
Yeah,
go. That's
okay.
the perfect place. We're gonna give you an applause. This is Shakila.
टूटा टूटा वे कि परिंदा ऐसे टूटा कि फिर जुड़ ना पाया। लूटा लूटा किसने उसको ऐसे लूटा कि फिर उड़ ना पाया। हो टूटा टूटा एक परिंदा ऐसे टूटा कि फिर जुड़ ना पाया। लूटा लूटा किसने उसको ऐसे लूटा कि फिर उड़ ना पाया। कहता है Oh my god, I just got
That's okay.
कहता है कि oh man okay I'll just कि अल्लाह के बंदे हंस दे अल्लाह के हंस दे जो भी हो कल फिर आएगा। अल्लाह के बंदे हंस दे अल्लाह के बंदे अल्लाह के बंदे हंस दे जो भी हो कल फिर आएगा अल्लाह के बंदे हंस दे जो भी हो कल फिर आएगा खो के अपने पर ही तो उसने था उड़ना सीखा खो के अपने पर ही तो हो खो के अपने पर ही तो उसने था उड़ना सीखा गम को अपने साथ में ले दर्द भी तेरे काम आएगा अल्लाह के बंदे हंस दे अल्लाह के बंदे हंस दे जो भी हो कल फिर आएगा अल्लाह के बंदे हंस दे जो भी हो कल फिर आएगा I just realized that I'm a human being.
Of course.
And I make mistakes.
But you did something very important there.
Yeah.
Is you didn't give up.
That's right.
Yes.
That's very important, you know. You can't just give up, you know, on one. I don't just want to call it fault, but something, you know, you're not getting to it. You can't just give up there. You have to push yourself to, you know.
And
maybe,
I felt, even though I forgot, I just got like hjärnetippa.
You blanked.
Yeah. And then I just skipped that part, and I was like, okay, just to feel the emotion.
That's about, you know, the Sufi interpretation, you know, self-experience, you know, that you are having there. You know, you're having a different connection that is, you know, you are having with the heavenly one, or the divine or call it God, or call it whatever you want. You know, there is a different connection between you and the heavenly one. You know, so there is nothing, you know, that is maybe what we all are talking about, the interpretation things. You know, it's a, you know, interpretation that, you know, the human being have in themselves.
Yes.
When
in the body. You know?
Yeah, and I could just feel the energy when I said Allah ke bande. I don't know if you felt it. I just
and
what was really great was you started, you know, and you were nervous.
Yeah.
And we all felt that, and we were rooting for you, and like, you're doing great. And then you sort of lost your way there for a second.
Yeah.
But then when you decided, because then the thing you'd worried about had happened, right?
Yeah.
So then you had nothing to lose. And when you were singing after that point, it was divine, because then you're just sort of like...
it was flowing, you know?
Yeah, then you were ascending, which is the word of the day, I guess.
Yeah.
And I just have to say that this was just perfect, because I feel so I feel such a support from you. Like, we can talk about this.
You know, we could just say, oh, no, Shakila, you did very bad. No, you did very great. You know, that's what we are. You know, the human being. You know, we can have faults, but we have to support each other to, you know, get over the line. You know, like get over the bump.
Thank you.
Yes, and another big point, I think, as Ulf mentioned, Shakila could just stop it and just sit down again, and we just okay, Shakila, but she didn't give up. She continued.
Because Allah was with me.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It was beautiful. Yes. You know, the room is now a bit sort of higher. Thank you for that.
So the ceiling is ascended.
Yes, the ceiling is ascended. Yes.
Now I will have my...
Now you can have your date. Yes. This is Eid Mubarak after all. And even though I have participated in Ramadan at the best of my ability, which has been a wonderful experience, and I'm forever grateful, and I think I will for sure, what would be the term, sort of put this into my practice, because I just really love the, you know, using fasting as a means of inwards travel, and the last time I did it, I felt sort of alone, because then I just fasted all by myself, and then it turns out like there's millions of people who are sort of going inward and sort of taking a break, and I really like that. Actually, I think, don't we have like a teaser for the last? We have, on patreon.com/the WakeUp Show, we have this thing called the ULF Experience, which is small documentary episodes of things that I experience. For instance, the next episode I think is going to be called Ramadan, from my great experiences with Muslim families in the dream and about the dream. But we also made one, actually Markus did a terrific job of my 7-day silent fast for peace. I think we went and watched that clip, right? First record on the camera.
Yes.
This is Thursday, the 29th of October, and this will be my last meal before going into the quiet fast.
What's going to be your last word?
I love you.
How do you do? I'm just too glad you haven't been eating anything. But do you really mean it when you say thumbs up, or is it like better than ever?
No estoy solo, no estoy solo, no estoy solo, estoy con Dios. Hey, celestial, no estoy solo.
I wonder what your first word is going to be.
Yeah, so obviously if you want to get the full 7-day fast for peace, then you go to patreon.com/the WakeUp Show and become a patron, and thank you if you feel so inclined. What I was going to talk about, this was I got sidetracked by my fasting wants and needs, was this thing with Eid Mubarak, or Eid as I have been calling it, horribly mistaken. And I was sort of, what is this thing? And you know what I like to do. I like to go out into the dream, but as I told you before, I didn't go out to the dream because my mom was visiting to meet my newborn son. So I asked my mother and Steinar about Eid. What is Eid Mubarak?
Eid Mubarak.
I don't know. Mubarak, I heard about him. There was some...
Or just Eid, or Eid?
Eid, I have no idea about Eid.
It's a celebration for the Muslim.
Yes.
Yes, after the fast. Fast there. And
Ending of the Ramadan, I
Yeah.
think.
Ramadan.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a celebration. The Ramadan is over. And then they have the Eid. That's what I know.
Like Christmas Eve,
The Christmas
almost. I think.
Eve. So my mom thinks it's almost like Christmas Eve. And I did learn through Ramadan that you have the Ramadan calendar, and also that there will be gifts given on Eid.
Yes, on each day.
Yes. But I guess, obviously, I think, speaking for myself, because now I've had the Ramadan experience, and I feel that this day, which has been the most beautiful day, because the sun was shining and we had thunderstorms, and the God of Thunder, whom I'm a great fan of, because I am of Thunder after all, I feel so humbled and thankful for the greatness of the humans whom I've encountered through the last 30 days. And I noticed that the world became a bit smaller, the world became a bit nicer, and this reminder of sort of taking care of each other, and maybe you don't have to start an argument. You can maybe just sort of not to say I didn't. I made numerous mistakes during these 30 days because I am human and I tend to mess up occasionally. But then I didn't have the luxury of hiding behind food, which is what I typically do. If you're stressed and you can eat a little, and then it's I don't feel so stressed anymore. I feel horrible because I just ate a lot of food. And like I said earlier on, I truly and I felt this before, but now it felt so beautifully sort of with the whole journey, like that, the hand of God, which I liked that phrase, especially when I now realize that God is not a guy with a huge hand, it's like slapping you around. That sounds horrible, but it's more of a
helping hand, maybe.
Yes, and also that the hand is it's not a physical, it's just a picture, it's just a metaphor for a thing. It all came together perfectly, like right now. Like we are here right now, and it's pretty monumental, and so that is a cause for a celebration, actually.
But I just, can we talk about like the celebration of Eid?
But of course, that's what I was going for, and I was wondering what your thoughts about it are, or do you want Firat or Umut?
Maybe Firat can go on.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We just have. I just know it's Eid, like now it's Eid, and then we celebrate. But since I live here and we don't have. I have friends, but it's not. I don't have relatives here in Norway, so it became very little.
Oh yeah, it did become the whole big communal thing.
So I have sometimes just gone to work and just lived as it's a normal day. So that's why. So that's kind of like my relationship to Eid. It hasn't been very strong. But when I'm in Bangladesh, that's different. Then it's like, okay, this is Eid. So.
And I think I can say, in the point of view, it's again traditions which makes the days greater than they are.
That's true. Yes.
In my childhood, for example, I and my all other friends tend to collect candies. It's a tradition on the Eid. You and your friends, for example, 9, 10 to 15 friends, you're going together. So the word together is very important. Not one by one, but together. And you're knocking the doors, and it's a very beautiful, charming, attractive candy box, which is being given to you, and you're just having your candies, the red one, the green, or the lemon and cherry one. So you're collecting it. So you go home, your sisters and your brothers, you're counting your candies. Oh, so there are candies for the next 30 days, for example. So it's a tradition, for example, that I never forgot. I am 35 now, and the thing I just mentioned, that was when I was 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I just remember all those good days. Delicious meal, my mom hugs, or hug from my father. It was different also. As a father of 4 or as a father of 3 now, I give many hugs to my children, but a hug in the Eid, I think it's different because it's with another meaning after the Ramadan. So again, the traditions gives variable meanings to a day, which make it greater, and they are.
But do you hug 3 times? Like, I know that in Eid, during Eid you do that, but
so
when it's not Eid,
culturally said, it's two times.
2 times.
From left to right, or from right to left.
Chin, from chin to chin.
Yeah, or from chin to chin.
Chin to chin.
Okay. Because I think that 3 times. Yeah.
So which is in that times we are restricted to to not to do it.
Yes, in these plaguey days.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Not a lot of
of course.
Restrictions,
But,
you know, to the family, just to family.
Yes.
And
So no hugs, no kisses,
Yeah.
no chin to chin.
yeah. No, but that, like
Yep.
what we used to do,
Yes,
or
yes.
of course.
it's a break now, I guess, and
Yeah.
then we'll do it again, hopefully.
Yes, we hope so. We cross the fingers for it.
Yeah. And how do you?
So, you know, I was born in Norway. So,
Here in the dream.
yeah, we were in the dream. So, you know, Muslim, you know, parents or originates from Turkey. But I was a little bit luckier than you because my uncle, my aunts, and my grandparents, all of them are here. So we're a very huge family.
Yes, you were a lot of people. So
Yes, you know, the Eid for us, you know, getting together all on, you know, on the grandfather's apartment. You know, we were maybe, I'm not exaggerating now, so we were more than 40, 50 people, you know, in the apartment, all together.
That's so cool.
You know, we are eating together. So it's like, you know, 3 or 4 times we are preparing the meal. You know, one part is eating. Okay, now it's the other part. First the fathers, or first the kids, then the father, then the mothers. You know, then the, you know, the other is coming. Someone is coming late, and you know, so we were, you know, having, you know, that huge. You know, it's, you know, it's a phrase from the Quran. You know, it's a feast. You know.
Yeah.
It's a feast, you know. It's a, maybe let's call it in a more secular way. It's a party. But, you know, it's, you know, getting together, sharing the moment, sharing the happiness together, you know. You know, that was a, you know, a special day.
So I think it's time to point a very crucial thing now, because every time we're speaking about doing something, we are using the word getting together. For example, fasting.
Yeah.
We're getting together and break the fast. Party or feast or Eid, we're getting together. So in Islam or in the Quran, everything we do, so if somebody do it together than doing it alone, he or she is being rewarded more. Said in the Quran also.
Yeah. I see.
As in the prayers also.
Yeah.
And I think that this is something that is so valuable, and since we live in Norway from different countries, we have these cultural values, and there's so much that here in Norway can implement from.
Well, there's great potential in places where different cultures come together, and the moment, as you say, through dialogue, through coming together, we create a community.
Yes, that's right.
Yes, whereas if we insist on keeping them separate, we create different communities, which will sort of.
And this is what has happened, like minority, and that's what I talked about in one of my YouTube videos, that everyone who lives in Norway should find peace with Norway. Yeah.
Obviously I got stuck here from birth, and you know, I am I like to call myself a transatlantic, because when I come to the United States, I'm like, well, this is home. How on earth did I end up in Norway when I come here? I'm like, well, this is my people. This is my tribe. But then I remember that I chose this experience, and coming to Norway is a part of that experience. Now, what I was getting at was like, well, you actually chose Norway from a different, well, in this incarnation or in this life, which is slightly different. It's very cold here. But then again, well, I have my show, so I can see why you choose to come. It makes perfect sense to come to Norway to be on my show. Yeah.
But I feel, I think it's after I moved to Kristiansand, during the trip, the domestic trip in 2020, that's when everything changed. That's when I felt that, wow, Norway is. In Kristiansand, I really feel like Norway is my home.
Yeah.
After 35 years, I feel like, and I think that's something to do with my mindset. That now I think that, oh, I live here, I am Norwegian, and I'm here. So, and again, my culture, or I think that I'll just talk for myself. I have a culture, and I have my values, and these cultures and these values, if they're good, this is something I bring to the Norwegian, or that we live here. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So I come with like values that are important. So it's openness for that. It's as individual.
That's what we call multicultural, you know.
Yes, but we use we use this multicultural minorities, but this is what I mean about we all who live in Norway have to find with Norway, which means that I'm equal to Norwegians.
Yep, of course.
Like likestilt. Yeah. And this is something that I it's been a journey that I realized 1 week ago. Yeah. So do you feel home in
I think I am.
Yeah?
Because of the justice and democracy here. If we compare with the country which is I actually from, so I can directly say that I would prefer Norway in that manner or in my point of view, I would of course prefer Norway.
Yeah.
So the community in Norway is also very open to common values. For example, helpfulness, volunteerness, empathy, for example. So yes, I think I feel I would prefer Norway also.
Yeah. For such a long time, I thought that Oslo was Norway.
But that's like, you go to Paris, and it's like, this is France.
And that is what happened to me during the trip. I discovered that Oslo is not Norway, and that's how I fell in love with Kristiansand, and I moved to Kristiansand last year. So now I have found home.
Yes. So when I was in Paris, by the way, I thought also it was very beautiful still. Oh, I can live here, until the waiter didn't want to speak English with me.
Oh yeah.
Just
You only speak French.
Yes, so
That's true.
Nationality.
There's this there's a song or something that's like, wherever I lay my hat, that's my home. And I like that sort of like perspective. It's like it's up to you to decide what is your home, and that power lies within you. But obviously, the moment you sort of ask around, like, where is my home? You will get all sorts of advice, like, I think your home is maybe that way or this way, or you have this skin color, so then it's probably over here. Or you have this religion, so then it must be over there. But the important person to ask is yourself, right? And it's, as you said, there are many different reasons, but they are there. And you know these reasons, and I will respect you for those reasons, and then I will include you. And I think, for instance, like for me, it's been such an eye-opener because my relationship with Islam has been limited to American action movies where they are terrorists, and obviously through mainstream media, which will typically focus on terrorism again, and sort of portray Islam as a very aggressive and angry culture. And then I can go in and experience myself. And then I find that, as always is the case, it's humans who are trying to sort of make their way in the world, and trying to better their communities, trying to sort of reach out, trying to make the world a better place. And I think it's important we remember that, and sort of leave our prejudice at the door and sort of keep an open mind as to what people have to offer, you'll be amazed. At least that would be my take on the thing. How are we on time, by the way? How is this? Yeah, we've been speaking for a while. It's nice. I asked my mom once if I had a final question, because I had a dream where God and James Corden, who is an American talk show host, came to me and said, "Ulf, you're going to be a talk show host." And now, as I told you, Firat, I've recently been reading The Alchemist for my children, where he has a dream about going to Egypt to find the treasure.
Yeah.
And then the book sort of functions as a means to remind him that he has found purpose, and if he only dares pursue this purpose, everything will sort of become what it's meant to be. But if he refuses to sort of follow his story, it becomes stuck, which is he sort of meets people who are stuck in the guy who never went to Mecca, because if he goes to Mecca, then what? And I felt sort of like I had this dream, and I'm doing this talk show. This is what I dreamt about doing, and I'm doing it. And today it's a big day, because we have three very different people, and we're doing it in the lounge, and we have microphone troubles, but it doesn't really matter, because we're doing it. I'm doing it, and then it's just joy.
You followed your heart.
Yes,
That's the goal.
Yeah.
that is the goal, right? I'm proud of myself.
Yeah.
Now, my mother, who has her birthday today, happy birthday, Mom. I asked her about what it's like that her son has a talk show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
What do you feel about your son having his own talk show?
Well, if you can manage it, it's okay. It's great.
I'm not looking at it because it's my son. I don't know. It's strange to see your own son on the screen.
Yes.
It's
Do you think the other parents of talk show hosts feel the same way?
yes, all of them.
Maybe you should have a club.
I think the mother of Fredrik Skavlan is no looking at the show. No.
But thank you so much for your time. I am from the WakeUp Show.
Yes.
It's every Thursday at 10 p.m. on Facebook. Check it out.
I know.
If you forget that you're my mother or something like that. And then and because this is going to be on tomorrow,
Yeah.
I have to say happy birthday.
Yeah,
And then
thank you.
Stella, you can film. Just look at the camera. Happy birthday! Oh, that was pretty smart. That was pretty clever. This is my mother.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah, so that was my mother, who has her birthday today. I feel like we really, Mom, I love you, and I hope you're watching. And if you're not, then I'll take this clip, edit it out, and then send it to you. That's how much I love you. Well, I have Markus do it, because he's my editor now. I love him too, don't worry about it. I sort of feel like we landed in a good spot over here. I felt that we built a nice, solid bridge. I believe it is founded in love and unity over troubled water or something like that. Which, that's what's so strange about the world. There's always something like horrible or strange going on. I was walking with Semra and Kaya. They were going to the theater for a theater practice, and one of them was saying like, you know, people are dying all the time. There's someone dying right now. And then the other one said, like, yeah, but someone's also born right now. And they were like, that's the beauty of life, right? It's both. And I was like, that's pretty solid. I like that. That's a God of Thunder over there. Yep. Keeping us in check. Not to ascend too high, because then you get struck by lightning or get your wings burned off or something like that. I guess that's Greek mythology.
Or maybe he is asking you to sing. It's your turn.
It is my turn now.
Yes.
But before I sing, I have to do a thing that I always do on the show, is why I found this iPad device, is that I go on the internet and then, why is it upside down? My God, technology is too much. Then I searched the internet far and wide for a quote that I found works well with tonight's episode. So just wait a second here and see if I can find one. Internet's pretty big, you know. It's not infinite, but it's still.
The moon is in Gemini, so it's a air sign, and they say that air sign and internet doesn't go well.
Okay.
So maybe that's.
I guess
what's
especially
happening.
Wi-Fi is like an airborne thing. I think I found one. How did you? There's three of you. Okay, well, Shakila, I want you to read the first part to the sort of comma, and then you guys read together the second part. I think that will work just great. I'll give it to you, and then you did it, and then pass it on. I think it will work pretty great.
Okay. If you want to make the world a better place.
So 3, 2, 1.
Take a look at yourself and then make a change.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
that does make sense. And I feel
Is that a
like...
song of Michael Jackson? No?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
But songs, quotes, well, potato, I say.
It all works together.
It works really well. But it was just something about the things we talked about. Also about Eid. It's like you're not looking out into the world for someone else to fix your mess. You're looking inwards and at yourself.
Yes.
And then you're helping yourself, and then you can help others. Because if you're a total mess, it's really hard to help someone else.
That's right. So the change is beginning with you, yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. I have grown a lot by just being here with all of you.
And you
Well,
sang
thank you.
beautifully.
Yeah, I grew about that as well. Thank you.
Good to hear also.
Yeah.
And it was a proper hero's journey, right? With like almost the failing and then rising from the ashes like a bird phoenix. That's beautiful.
Coming back to the community.
Yes.
And the community is supporting.
Yes. Sharing your treasure. Shakila, thank you so much for being a guest on the show. And from the bottom of my heart, which is bottomless, by the way, I love you.
I love you too.
Firat, I love you, man. Thank you so much for being on the show.
I will always love you.
Is that Whitney Houston song? Next time you're gonna sing that song. That's a beautiful one.
Yes.
Yes.
I will always love you. That song which I will always love you as 1,000 years? 1,000 years?
Oh, that's also, that's a very nice
Yes.
one. Yes. And 1,000 more.
1,000 more,
It's
yes.
1,000 more, Firat. Umut?
Yes.
Now I said the name right. And that's because I love you, man. And thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to be here. I love you too.
Yes. Eid Mubarak.
Eid Mubarak.
Mubarak.
Eid Mubarak again.
Eid
Yeah.
Mubarak.
Happy Ramadan.
Happy Ramadan.
Happy
Yes.
Ramadan. And to all my viewers out there, I love you too. And if you want to share the love in terms of financial support for the show, there's patreon.com/The WakeUp Show, where you can get the full ULF experience. Or even like one of these really cool cacao mugs. I call it cacao mugs because I drink cacao. But we can drink coffee, tea, or water probably any beverage. My son designed the logo for the show. That's pretty neat, right? It's genius. It's a gift that keeps on giving at children, you know. I'm going to play a song. That's how we end the show. I think it seems right. I'm going to play my favorite song in the world. No, let me just. I didn't think about. You know, this chair is very comfortable.
Do you want to sit here?
No, that's okay. I'll manage. I'll manage. I'm with this microphone, who's not working anymore, anyways. But just, anyways, I'll tune my guitar.
Okay.
Well, this is. I'm apologizing. Like, it's the end of the show and he's tuning his guitar. What's going on over here? Well, it was in tune. Sorry, it was a waste of time.
That's good.
Well, it's better to be safe than sorry, right? Yes. Thank you so much. And tune in to the show next week for another episode of the WakeUp Show, because it's every Thursday, you know. I'm doing my dream in the dream. Dream within a dream within a dream. When my body can't hold me anymore, and it finally sets me free, will I be ready? When my feet won't walk another mile, and my lips give their last kiss goodbye, will my hands be steady? Will I lay down my fears, my hopes and my doubts, the rings on my fingers and the keys to my house, with no hard feelings? When the sun hangs low in the west, and the light in my chest, it won't be kept held at bay any longer. When jealousy fades away, and it's ash and dust for cash and loss, and it's just hallelujah. And love in thoughts, love in the word, love in the songs they sing in the church, and no hard feelings. Lord knows they haven't done much good for anyone, kept me afraid and cold, with so much to have and hold. When my body won't hold me anymore, and it finally sets me free, where will I go? Will the trade winds take me south through Georgia grain tropical rain or snow from the heavens. Will I join with the ocean blue or run into my Savior true? I will shake hands laughing and walk through the night, straight for the light, holding the love I've known all my life, and no hard feelings. Lord knows they haven't done much good for anyone. Kept me afraid and cold, with so much to have and hold. Under the curving sky, I'm finally learning why it matters for me and you to say it and mean it too. For life and its loveliness and all of its ugliness, good as it's been to me, I have no enemies. I have no enemies. I have no enemies. I have no enemies. Thank you.